Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Paul with pipelinemoney.com. And in this video, I'm going to share a few thoughts on Avatar 2, The Way of the Water. This will be my quick review. I watched it yesterday with my son, Kashton, and I had a few thoughts I wanted to pass along. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Specifically, I'm going to talk quickly about the special effects of the movie, whether or not it's worth watching in 3D. The other question I wanted to talk about is Avatar 2 woke? So a lot of people are asking this question on the internet, believe it or not. So I want to talk about that. And then the last thing, I wanted to share a map for escaping the chains of ideology. So that's going to be the quick overview of this video. But I do want to ask, have you seen this video? Are you planning on seeing it? Drop a 1 in the comments below. If you haven't seen it, not going to see it, drop a 0 in the comments below. I'd love to kind of gauge the interest in this movie. So first thing I wanted to cover, the special effects. Amazing, mind-blowing. I felt like there was constant eye candy on the screen from start to finish. Incredible what they did with the special effects. I can't recommend the special effects enough. The movie's worth seeing, if nothing more than to just have your eyes be dazzled by modern technology and storytelling and what they can do with cinematography and lighting. And it's just incredible. So that's first thing. Second thing, should I watch Avatar 2 in 3D? So my son and I, we had these tickets that we were going to use, and we got to the movie theater. And I said, do you want to watch this in 3D? And he's like, yeah, let's watch it in 3D. So we said, let's do it in 3D. They said the 3D is not going to be until 5 o'clock. So we were going to have to drive home and come back. We decided to go ahead and drive home and come back. And we loved it. Definitely worth watching in 3D. There were parts of the movie where it was raining in the show. And my son Kashton, he's 11. He nudges me and he's like, Dad, it's raining in the movie theater, because you could literally see the rain kind of falling right down in front of you. And lots of parts in the movie, great depth to the movie. It's 3D, obviously. So you're seeing the characters in kind of closer to you, and then you can look into the screen, and it's like you're looking through to another reality or another dimension. So the 3D tickets cost us each an extra $2. So definitely recommend watching it in 3D. Shout out to my friend Darren Superhero, MLM Superhero. He recommended that we do that, so we went ahead and did that. So that was the second thing. Definitely do that if that's something that, hey, what's up, Amy Star Allen? See you're plugging in. Good to see you. How you doing today? Let me know. So that's the second thing. Okay, so here's the third one, and this is kind of a controversial question. I was doing some keyword research before I made this video, and I noticed that there were people asking, is Avatar 2 woke? And I wanted to talk about this, even though it's controversial, because some of the things that I noticed in this movie were some hidden messages that I kind of want to highlight that might be related to this question. But first, before I made the video, I looked up, what does woke even mean? Because this is a controversial term that seems to be thrown around out there. And what the dictionary said was that woke means you're awake and aware to different societal issues. So I read that definition and I was like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Like what's wrong with that? Being awake and aware, seeing what's going on, having empathy, compassion. That being said, I don't think that people who are opposed to this word specifically think that's what it means. And I also don't think that there are people who champion the woke, word. Everyone has a different meaning, right? So just on a very base level, if being woke means that you're awake and aware to societal issues, I would say Avatar 2 does definitely, highlight some things in the movie that allow us or, help us to be more awake and aware. So I guess you could say, is it woke from that standpoint? Yeah, I guess you could say it is. But from another standpoint, is it woke from the definition that other people might have? Amy says she's better than great. Awesome. Glad to hear it, Amy. It's a great day to be alive, isn't it? So, but there's another aspect of woke that maybe people are referring to when they say is Avatar 2 woke. And I'm going to get to that here in just a second. But before I do, I wanted to share with you my two favorite parts from the movie, two favorite meanings. So there was one part of the movie where, and I'm not going to spoil it for you in case you haven't seen it. Again, let me know if you've seen it. We've got some live viewers here. Have you seen the movie? Are you going to see it? Let me know in the comments below. But there was one part in the movie where there was, the main character and the main character's family, and they were entering into another family group. And the leader of the other family group, when they decided that they were going to bring these people in, says to the other members of his family, he says, "Teach them our ways, so they do not, bear the shame of being useless." Amy says she hasn't watched it, but will based on my review. Okay, cool. So hopefully I give a good review and help you know whether you should watch this or not. Teach them our ways so they do not bear the shame of being useless. I thought that was a great line, because one of the things that I love to try to do in my life is to be useful, learn skills, do things, take action, do the best that I can to be useful to other people. So I loved that line. Teach them our ways so they do not bear the shame of being useless. I thought that was a great line. The other part of the movie that I liked was, there's this underlying story where there's a particular character in the movie that is outcast. And there's a great book on being outcast by Jonathan. It's called Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. Great book. Highly recommend it. But that book, in the beginning of the book, talks a little bit about how sometimes when you have groups of people who are organized together in tribes or families or cultures, uh, if one person in that group goes against the grain a little bit, they're shamed, and sometimes they're even kicked out of the group, and they're made outcast. And this must be a very common thing throughout society and the world, for it to continue to be popping up in various works of art, like Jonathan Livingston Seagull and like Avatar 2. So this particular character is made outcast, and part of the reason that this, and again, I won't get too specific because I don't want to spoil it for you, but this particular character was kicked out of the group because of a very good reason. In other words, because this particular character did what this character thought was right and just and true, and it violated a belief that was held by the group, and the group kicked the character out. And so the little note that I wrote down here when I was watching the movie was, violate a belief of the group and become outcast, no matter how good the reason. Not that I'm a fan of that, but that does seem to be a common thing that sometimes happens, is that if you violate a cultural norm or a belief, even if you have a really, really good reason for it, you can be made to feel shamed or outcast. And I thought that was cool how the movie highlighted that, and the unjustness of it, specifically in this particular storyline in the movie, because I do think it's true that a lot of times when groups of people make collective judgments, I think the group probably is doing the best they can for the most part to set up beliefs and set up norms that protect the group and help the group move forward. But sometimes those collective beliefs are wrong, or can be wrong, or maybe can be wrong in a certain different situation or a certain different scenario. Sometimes life is complex and complicated, and it might require a different set of actions at a different time. So I liked how that movie highlighted that. And I hope that what it does is it helps us, maybe as a people and as individuals, to be more loving, to be more empathetic, to be more understanding, and also to realize that one of the greatest pains that sometimes people shoulder or bear is being made to feel like they're outcast. They're not a part of the family group. They're not a part of the cultural group. That can be a really, really painful thing for someone to go through. So I like how that movie highlighted that, and I think that was a really good message. Okay, so let's get back to the other hidden messages that I kind of noticed that might be related to this question. Is Avatar 2 woke? So I'm not seeing any other comments here. So here are the other hidden messages that I saw that were interesting. Okay, so there's one part in the movie where there's this character that's being portrayed as I'll say maybe a lower consciousness type of a person, maybe a greedy person, maybe a self-centered person, maybe a person who doesn't care about hurting others in order for this person to have individual gain. And so this is how this character's set up. And in the movie, this character has two phrases. Okay. One phrase is just about this character, just about as this character is about to go do this really not good thing and harm, other characters in the movie. The character says this line: "Let's make some bank." And and then the other line that's related is he said another part of the story where same situation, right? He's about ready to go do these things that are not good, that are harming others. He says, "Come on, people, let's make some money." And as I saw those lines fall from the screen, I thought to myself, isn't it interesting how sometimes in movies, money is portrayed as bad, right? As bad, as the only way you get money is by hurting people and being the evil villain and the evil character of the story. And so here's Bella. She says, "Can't wait to see it. James Cameron is so woke. I'm not surprised." Okay, good, good. I don't know much about James and his political views. But yeah, thanks for commenting, Bella. And yeah, definitely worth seeing the movie. So would love to hear your reactions, after you see it. But in any case, if money is bad and the only people in the show that are talking about making money are the bad guys, that sort of has an underlying thread that capitalism is bad, that generating income is bad, that the only way to make money is if you hurt somebody else and you tear somebody down. So that is a particular meaning that could be picked up from that movie. And here's the thing that I think is really good to think about in relation to some of these messages that, we watch these movies and we think, people aren't going to notice that. They're not going to pick it up. They're not going to get that association that money is bad just because the bad guy in the movie is a bad guy. There's a story in the book Awaken the Giant Within by Anthony Robbins, where he talks about how one of the things that uh, people do who are conscious about wanting to influence others, like advertisers, propagandists, mass influencers. He says one of the things that is most effective is to associate pain with the thing you don't want people to do and associate pleasure with the thing you do want people to do. And he gave an example that really relates to this. He said that back in the 80s or 90s, I think, somewhere around there, Pepsi wanted more people to drink Pepsi. So what they did was they recruited Michael Jackson to endorse Pepsi. And so they would show commercials of Michael Jackson, who was really good at raising the emotions of people, helping people to feel good with the music and the dancing and the moves. So people would get in this heightened emotional state, and then they would associate the brand Pepsi with this heightened emotional state. So they really said nothing about the product, nothing about the benefits, nothing about the harm of the product, nothing about the ingredients in the product. They literally just got people in this state of heightened emotion and made that association between Pepsi and the state of heightened association. And what Anthony Robbins said in the book is that was one of the most successful ad campaigns that was ever run in history. Sales of Pepsi went through the roof. So what does this have to do with messages in movies? Is we have to be aware of the messages, because if we're not aware of the messages and we're watching this movie and we're like, ooh, bad guy, evil guy, guy trying to do harm to other people. Oh, and he's talking about money, money bad, money evil, money not good, right? These associations can be made if we're not aware, and we can't and we don't spot them out. So I think it's really good to be aware of this stuff. The other underlying messages that might cause people to be asking this question, is Avatar2 woke? Is there is sort of this, when I got done with the movie, I walked out and this was the phrase that was in my mind: environment good, humans bad. That was the phrase. That was the message. Environment good, humans bad. And the whole movie was kind of like that. They were portraying the humans as the sky people from Earth who were dominating this planet of Pandora, because Earth, this part of the in this particular edition of Avatar 2, Earth was running out of resources because they had destroyed and consumed the environment, and now they were looking for another planet to dominate the people so they could take over the other planet. So what is that? That's like, okay, humans bad, environment good. Humans kill the environment, humans bad, environment good. There was another line in the story that said, there was one human talking to the other human, and they were talking about how smart and advanced some of these animal characters in the movie were. And the character says, and I thought you were the intelligent species. So in other words, the humans not smart, animals smart, humans bad, environment good. So these were the two messages that I saw in the movie that might be causing people to ask this question: is Avatar 2 woke? Depending on what you mean by woke, but those messages were there and they did stick out to me. Veronique says, I look forward to see the movie. Oh, awesome. Cool. Happy holidays from Peter, kids, and me. Happy holidays to you, Veronique. So the last thing that is related to this in a big way is a map for escaping the chains of ideology. So the people who are opposed, it seems to me, to the woke ideology are not opposed, don't seem to be opposed to being aware of societal issues. They seem to be opposed to this one thing. And this one thing, I think, is a really good thing to be aware of, just to navigate life in a better way, to not be enslaved by the chains of ideology. What is ideology? Ideology is just where, you have this set of beliefs. Let's say you got like 5 or 6 beliefs, and then you say, this 5 or 6 beliefs is the only one true way to view the world. There's no other way to look at the world. And not only is this the only one true way to view the world, it's so true that I've got to take this 5 or 6 set of beliefs from my brain, and I got to do whatever I can to stamp it on your brain and stamp it on your heart and stamp it on your soul. That's how I would define ideology. And so I picked up this really cool map from a YouTube series called Maps of Meaning by Jordan Peterson. And I think this is really powerful. And here's what he said. He said, if you took out a sheet of paper and you put in the center a circle that was the individual, like a person, like me, you, individuals. And then in that center circle, you have a positive and you have a negative. And what that means is that humans individually have a positive potentiality and they also have a negative potentiality. And if that's true, which it does seem to me to be true, that means that humans can never be all bad and they can never be all good, because each of us has this positive and negative potentiality. So if ever we're watching a story that is painting humans as all bad, they're the bad guys, nothing good about humans, that would be an example of an ideology, because what this YouTube series said is that an ideology gives you part of the truth, but not the whole truth. It gives you part of the truth. And because it's giving you part of the truth, you're feeling like your soul is being fed and you feel like you're touching truth. But the danger is, if you take that partial truth and then you make the leap to say this is the whole truth, you're now missing a big part of the picture. So that center circle is human, plus, minus, positive, negative. Around the human is culture or society. Same thing, positive, negative. Groups of people, they can be very positive. They can do positive things in the world. The company that I'm a part of, that I co-founded a few years ago, we as a group of people have helped to provide about 200,000 days of meals to kids in need throughout the world. That's an example of a group of people expressing a positive potentiality in the world. Can we find examples of groups of people doing negative things in the world? Of course we can. So what does that mean? That just means that groups of people also have a positive potentiality and a negative potentiality. So if ever you see a movie or read a story that says groups are bad, that's only part of the truth. They can be bad, but they can also be good, right? So individual, society, and then around that, we have the environment, Mother Earth, nature, right? Same thing, positive, negative. So what this lecture series said was that nature can be very, very good. We come from nature. We have oxygen to breathe. The sun shines warmth down on planet Earth, makes the plants grow, makes the flowers grow. That is all very, very good, right? It's all very, very good. So that's positive potentiality of nature. Also, Over in Florida recently, there was a terrible hurricane. Homes were destroyed, businesses were destroyed, lives were destroyed. That's an example of the negative potentiality of nature. So, to wrap this all up, Avatar 2, humans bad, environment good. If that's the message you're walking away with from that movie, you've only got a partial picture of the truth, and you may have picked up a little bit of ideology. So, those are my thoughts on Avatar 2, The Way of Water. I still recommend seeing the movie, especially if you're aware of these things and can kind of watch for them. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I see we still have some live viewers here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. And if you're just catching me for the first time, I do a lot of teaching around online marketing, belief systems, how to live a powerful life, how to build a life of freedom, home-based business, residual income. So if any of that resonates with you, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to my email list to not miss out on future content that you might find inspiring, entertaining, valuable, life-changing. That's my goal, right? Freedom bringing. So pipelinemoney.com, you can subscribe to my email list and not miss out on future content, and also get more valuable content in the future. And also, when you do that, if you go to pipelinemoney.com, put your name and email in, not only will you get access to all of my future training and not miss out on anything that I do in the future, you'll also be taken to a business presentation for a company that I'm a part of, that I did co-found, that I absolutely love. It's an affiliate marketing company. We teach a lot of great skills around online marketing, how to generate more leads, how to generate more traffic, how to convert more sales. And we also have an amazing affiliate program that a lot of people really, really love. We pay an 80% commission, residual commission on our 2 continuity products. And that makes it so if building a life of freedom is something that's important to you, meaning you can disconnect your time from your money, with what we've put together, I believe it's the fastest way to do that, to grow an extra income stream quickly, and also completely decouple your time from your money if that's something that you want to do. So you can see that at pipelinemoney.com. That's it. Thanks for watching. Get out there, make it a great day. Always go for your dreams, and leave me your thoughts and comments down below. If you're catching this on the replay, do hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know, and would love to hear your thoughts on this. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye for now.